Your sexuality should be kept to yourself, regardless of what it is, unless prompted. Okay, so I know right away people are gonna start name calling and assuming. Hear me out. There's so many people out there where gay is their entire personality. If you're gay, that's completely fine, good for you, but I don't think anyone should know your sexuality unless the topic comes UPSX. Dude, how are you still single? I could set you up with a girl right now. Oh, actually I'm gay. Oh cool. Or someone plainly asks what is your sexuality, or you are in a relationship with that person, etc. I don't think any sexuality should be your only personality trait. There are toxic straight people, toxic gay people, toxic bi people, just toxic people in general, that have to prove to you how gay/straight/bi they are at all times. I don't care what, who, or what you are, have a personality, not just a sexuality. I see this more on the internet than IRL, tbh. The gay people I know didn't tell anyone that they were gay unless asked. Of course, anyone that makes one single thing their entire identity is pretty annoying after a while. It's nice to talk about more than just one thing, and usually when your whole identity is built around one thing you get way too into it to the point of it being cringy, no matter what it is. However, there's a hell of a gap between keeping something entirely to yourself unless explicitly asked and having that one thing be your entire personality. It's perfectly fine to want to talk about dating or relationship stuff sometimes, and that's pretty much inevitably going to give away your sexuality. Hell, even just any normal show of affection with your partner in public would obviously give it away, too. So yeah, people who talk about it all the time are annoying, but there's plenty of room for it to come up in conversation pretty innocuously without it being overbearing. Your post makes it sound like you think people should actively hide it, and that's not cool. I worked with a guy like this and it bothered all the other gay people. It's similar to those straight guys who are always talking about their massive dick and how much they get laid. Some people just need their identity stamped on their forehead. Conspiracy theory people, vegans, carnivores, gluten-free, gay, straight, rich. All these groups have their own small percentage of annoying people. I'd argue most gay people are acting normally, you just can't notice something that's not noticed. I used to think this too until I found out this behavior is not relegated to gays. There are men, where their whole personality is being a man. This includes all the terrible things they think men should. Women as well, where femininity and all things associated with such is their personality. I personally have encountered people like this and it's super annoying. Curious how gay people are always the scapegoat for this argument because of flamboyance, yet douche ID tap that ass. Brothers are far more prominent but never regarded as flouting their sexuality because they are straight. I think this goes both ways and we don't notice it as much. There's plenty of straight guys where being straight is their entire personality, they just don't show it the same way. They may only talk about girls and sex and whatnot and we just don't notice because it's normal. My main problem with this is I think Op is presenting two different opinions here. For one of them, I agree, your sexuality shouldn't be your entire personality. Nothing should be your entire personality. Your favorite TV show, your national pride, your sexuality, a genre of music, the baseball team you love, no one thing should be your personality. Do I think that in reality, most people who wear a main personality interest as a badge of honor have other interests, and if someone took the time to interact with this person, they'd find them? Yes. Example, I've come to know plenty of very openly LGBTQ and people while living in the West Hollywood area, while, at their surface, many of them just seem to be all about pride. Rainbow clothing, pride Instagram posts, etc. But once you take the time to meet one of these people and actually talk to them, you learn they aren't just pride, they are complex individuals just like the rest of us. They write sketch comedy, play in adult dodgeball leagues, play D&D, love Spanish soap operas, love hiking/traveling/exploring. These people are no different than the metalhead in your life who wears different black band t-shirts every day. They are complex individuals who happen to have one aspect of their life, a much more important one than just what music they like if you ask me, that they like to make very apparent, because it is important to them. Which brings me to the second point up is making. Sexuality should be kept to yourself. The reason so many people do wear pride as a personality trait is because, like it or not, we still live in a world, and this applies to every country on earth, where heterosexuality is the default, and if you aren't the default, there are people who hate you. The entire point of pride is to be proud of who you are in the face of a society that has members who can openly hate you and want you dead. So I have a challenge for you. The next time you meet a LGBTQ and person, who wears that pride outgoingly, make a point to ask them their interests. I'd bet a large sum of money the first interest they list isn't being gay. I know way more straight people who make their personality just about their sexuality. Guys talking about hot girls and banging them, girls talking about cute guys and their boy band crushes. Do you realize how many books, movies, songs, etc. are about love and attraction? This is a major part of humanity that has been part of every single culture. This is why all those "don't ask, don't tell, but it's really not about homosexuality" are utterly ridiculous. You constantly hear about straight sexuality. No one bats an eye when the newest action movie has the male lead kisses the female love interest at the end. Switch it to an homosexual relationship, however, and suddenly it's pointless pandering that brings nothing to the story, and I don't care if they're gay, but why focus on it? It's like being gay is their whole character. As for the whole single personality trait, sexuality or otherwise, that's just something obvious, and if it's your main point, doesn't belong in the sub, as I doubt anyone would disagree that someone with a one-dimensional personality is uninteresting. Thinking of the numerous times I've experienced straight folks bombard me with conversations centered around straight sex and dating, and then told me to stop advertising my sexuality when it came up in conversation. Huh. Weird. Edit, grammar. I agreed. Dude, how are you still single? I could set you up with a girl right now. We should stop shoving heterosexuality down people's throat.